It's that time of the month again. No, not that time. The time to check in with Aly Pain, who is here to talk about our teens. And today we're going to get into intention versus execution. I think something a lot of parents struggle with, Aly.
Yes. I mean, this is so frustrating. How many times do you hear your teenager say something that they want to do to start or they want to change? And they say something that they want to change that you have only been nagging and reminding them until your nails are curling to yes, yes, that, yes, that. And you get so excited that you're like, yes, are you going to change? Are you going to change? You're going to do it right. Are you going to do it right? And then you don't see them execute on it. And the level of frustration and ire that that raises as a parent, knowing that that change actually needs to happen when you hear them saying, but I want to do the change and then they don't. So I want to talk about this for a second because in the work that I'm doing with parents, this particular topic is coming up a lot. Now we're going to talk about it specific to all parents and teens, and then I'm going to dial it in a little bit more. The teenage brain, a normal teenage brain, if there is such a thing, I don't know, but a normal teenage brain, okay, they already struggle with procrastination, motivation, anything that requires an extensive amount of change. Because of the adolescent brain growth, their executive function is still, their emotional and many other parts of their brain are well in advance, but the execution, the intention, oh, I got a lot of that. But the execution part is still forming and sadly won't be finished forming until they're 25. So teenagers normally might express an intention to do something or change something and not get to the execution level of it. Now, as a parent, when you're on, yes, team change, yes, let's get that done, it can be really hard not to jump in there through righteousness, condemnation, criticism, and judgment, because now you, adult brain perspective, say, oh, well, aren't you all out of integrity? You say this thing, but you do this. Well, that's not reliable. That's not, and all these other moral judgments.
I have to
I,
tell you, I have to pause you right there.
yeah,
I feel this one so deeply. And I think that I have learned through this happening so many times now that my reaction, I've learned to, I guess, temper my reaction.
yes,
Because I have learned that when you bring in shame or you didn't
yes,
do that or
yes.
how disappointing,
Oh, that's a good
it's
one.
not really it's not going to change the behavior. It's certainly not going to drive execution of the act. And it's just going to drive a wedge between you and your teen, as far as I'm
Yes,
concerned.
yes. And that I love it is because what you are focused on as the adult, partly because you're invested in whatever the change is. Let's say, getting more homework done or getting up earlier or whatever the things that would be very helpful for you. So you're invested in the execution of it and then more and more irritated by them not executing on this. So let me just quickly let you lead into the brain a little bit here is that, again, I have said they do not have, not that they do not have, but they struggle with the executive function development to overcome regular inertia of not changing, which we all have. And that's a whole other part of science, part of the brain. But I want to make it very clear to you, nothing changes without the intention. Nothing. So here's what I want your approach to be. Next time your teenager says they want to change something that you may have a personal and very vested interest in them changing, knowing that they already struggle with the executive function to actually enact that change, I want you to say to them, I believe you. I believe you want to change that. And add to that, you could say, so tell me more about that. Tell me why you would want to change. What would work for you about that? What feels like a struggle about changing? What do you already think works that you have in place to create the change? Here's why. You can either pour your wet bucket of judgment and shame on their lack of execution, which completely drowns out the intention, or you can fan the flames of intention, which makes execution more likely. You choose. Yeah. Because in any stage of the brain, now in ADD brains, I'm just going to say this right now for all the parents of ADD brains, it is even far more magnified because they struggle with task initiation even more than a regular teen brain, and task maintenance, which means the focus to continue it, which I am going to say, if teens are going to change, please let go of perfect, because their brain does not have that capacity. And until you're perfect, let's not overlay that on them. And the last thing I want to say is that intention, even for an addict, many addicts want to change, but there is significant science in our brains that show that change is in fact one of the hardest things that we will ever undertake. So fan the flames of intention, or you can water all over it. But if you fan the flames of intention with, I believe you got this, what would it take? You can be part of supporting the execution.
Yeah, I love it. Aly, you're always, I'm telling you, I am a better parent because of you. And I always appreciate these talks with you. You always, make me pause and think. And it's a good reminder to know that if your child doesn't follow through, they know they haven't followed through. You piling on the guilt is just going to make it worse. So thank you for this. I think this is an important reminder for all parents today. You're going to be back next month. As always, though, I can't thank you enough. Where can people keep up with you, though?
They can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Aly Pain, ALYPAIN, or on my website, alypain.com.
Incredible. Thank you, Aly.
Thank you.